The ABC family drama about a middle-class black family moving into a former crack house is one clean movie that has succeeded in making viewers spellbound, even with its decision not to display any form of nudity, obscenity, sex, gore, or crudeness. However, despite it sounding like the perfect movie for any member of the family to watch, here are 20 weird facts you didn't know about it. Number 20. The show aired for only 4 seasons. The series, which premiered on the 8th of January 2007 on the ABC Family Network, was created by Seth Freeman. It was a unique family and police drama that showed family life and its struggles with community issues and law enforcement. It spanned a total of 43 episodes throughout the time it was broadcast. These episodes exposed Eddie Sutton, a police officer, as the main character alongside his wife, Jen Sutton, the nurse who was initially against the family's relocation. The relocation was set to move the couple and their children back to Eddie's old neighborhood, and the ensuing drama unfolds, especially as the community is rife with crime. The first season aired 13 episodes. The second season, which premiered on the 4th of September 2007, had 10 episodes. The subsequent seasons, which premiered on the 16th of September 2008 and the 14th of September 2009, also released 10 episodes respectively. The last episode was aired on the 9th of November 2009, while it was on its 4th season. Each season is built on each Sutton family member's experience. The final episode was not just the resolution of the climax, it also answered many questions arising from the script. Number 19. Nikki Michaud was initially reluctant to promote the show. Even though Lincoln Heights later became an ABC viewer favorite, many people do not know that some actors were initially reluctant to do publicity for the show. Deborah Douglas highlighted this much in the Crisis magazine of 2008. She highlighted that one of such actors was Nikki Michaud. Remember that on the show, Michaud played the role of Jenny Sutton, Eddie's wife and a nurse. Some fans later described her as the reliable matriarch who portrayed that black women are willing to do whatever it takes to fix their homes. Michaud admitted that she was initially reluctant to do publicity for the show. She said this was because publicizing a show was not exactly her thing. This, however, was a problem because the show required media exposure to be spotted as unique from the several other television shows available at the time. However, executive producer Kathleen McGee Anderson saw the need for publicity and set out to sort the problem. Michaud recalls in the article, "We really needed press, and she was pushy. I thought, what is wrong with her?" However, none of the cast's discouragements deterred Kathleen. She then arranged for Michaud to meet with the editor of Essence magazine, which Michaud agreed to. She recalls that the editor genuinely loved the show and offered media coverage. This helped to change Michaud's beliefs on publicity. It also gave Lincoln Heights the much-needed publicity. Michaud also spotlights how Kathleen has helped her journey in Hollywood. She also highlights how she learned to take bold steps in the industry. She stated that the network wouldn't have been created if the cast and crew had not publicized Lincoln Heights. This encounter was the beginning of a long-lasting mentorship between Kathleen McGee Anderson and Michaud. Michaud is said to have said, "She had pushed me and inspired me and been a great mentor. I wouldn't have stepped out of my comfort zone without her." Number 18. Chadwick Boseman was on Lincoln Heights as Nate Ray Taylor. Once most people hear the name Chadwick Boseman as of 2025, the name that comes to mind is Black Panther's T'Challa of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. However, Chadwick Boseman played a role in Lincoln Heights before becoming famous. He played the role of Nate Ray Taylor, the son of police officer Eddie Sutton from a previous relationship. His appearance on the show totaled 9 episodes between 2008 and 2009 during seasons 3 and 4. His character revealed a new twist to the Sutton family dynamic. It exposed the vulnerability that any family could be exposed to, even without prior knowledge. At the time, Nate had grown into a soldier serving in Iraq. His decision to return home touched on unexplored themes like military service, family connection and reconciliation, and the struggles of trying to fit in after long absences. Here, Boseman took the opportunity to show his depth as an actor. He was later portrayed as possessing quiet quiet strength and dignity. Even though Lincoln Heights was not the movie where he got to be in the spotlight, it was one of the ladders he had to climb on his way to the peak. Before transitioning to major film roles, he was also involved in other television series. He would star in movies such as 42 as Jackie Robinson, Get On Up as James Brown, and Marshall as Thurgood Marshall. These movies then made him popular in the movie world. However, while acting in Lincoln Heights, he graced the set with his skills and put in dedication, both qualities that would later be associated with his later roles. Number 17. Some of the complex family dynamics in Lincoln Heights. While most people like to term Lincoln Heights a blend of family drama and police procedural, it was not just that. It dug into and established some human family struggles and replicated them on set. This was then the basis for each character. For one, it revealed that Eddie Sutton's mother was killed when Eddie was just 13 years old. This was the type of tragedy that could define anyone. It could be the reason an individual could be made or broken. That loss inspired Eddie to become a police officer and informed his desire to protect his family fiercely, even though he served in a dangerous community. Again, the show exposed the challenges of raising a family at a young age. Their eldest daughter, Cassie Sutton, this also exposed society's truth. Most people become parents even before they are mature enough to know what it takes to be one and have to learn on the job, which means making mistakes. It exposed how Eddie and Jen had to grow into adulthood while simultaneously learning to be responsible parents. It also explained why they both understood each other and were resilient in facing life's pressures. Each of these underground information made it easy for the audience to relate to the story. It also gave ample understanding of why the Suttons were determined to ensure their family stayed together despite the constant external pressures. The issues of grief, sacrifice, and early parenthood were handled with honesty, which also exposed the struggles many families go through in real life that we never get to hear about. Number 16. The Suttons were inspired to move because Eddie was offered a crack house. From the first episode, we are exposed to Eddie Sutton's decision that changed his family's life trajectory. It was that decision to move back to his old neighborhood. One would wonder what made him make such a decision. Well, here it is. In the first episode, Eddie, who was a dedicated police officer, raided a local crack house during a drug bust. Instead of what one would expect to be normal, he is offered ownership of the house. Rather than reject the idea, Eddie saw it as an opportunity to move himself, his wife, and their 3 children back to the neighborhood where he grew up. This decision would then be the reason for the events unfolding in the entire series. The relocation was not just about changing location. It was about restoring a broken community, confronting crime at its root, and giving the Suttons kids a different perspective on life. However, while this was the intention, it was rife with many challenges that were not considered before the decision. Such challenges as adjusting to the new environment or coming to terms with the fact that they now lived in a society that made violence and drugs their lifestyle and was poverty-stricken. The house, which was supposed to be a fresh start, symbolized hope and hardship. While Eddie still believed that change was possible through resilience, family unity, and community rebuilding, the viewers were also exposed to the family's dangers and all the sacrifices required to live in the neighborhood. By beginning the family drama like this, the creators made Lincoln Heights a movie that exposed the viewers to the power of choice and the dangers it could expose us to. We are also exposed to how resilience and determination can change the trajectory of one's life despite all odds. Number 15. Michael Riley appeared in a total of 33 episodes. The California-born actor Michael Riley Burke played the role of Officer Kevin Lund, partner to Officer Eddie Sutton. He was instrumental, especially as he got to see Eddie while he worked every case. He was also the father of Sage in the movie. He was not just a partner but also a friend, thanks to his ability to provide a balanced view of how Eddie was dealing with the challenges of moving his family back to Lincoln Heights. However, their relationship was not parasitic, as Eddie was also there for Kevin during his tough times. IMDb records the number of episodes he appeared on the ABC family show Lincoln Heights as 33. These appearances spanned from 2007 to 2008, making him one of the most frequently shown male supporting cast members. His appearance on the show also helped to give depth help to the law enforcement aspect of the story and drive home the relatability with any typical black community that the producers aimed to achieve. The viewers could easily relate to the camaraderie between Eddie and Kevin as they navigated their work relationship. No colleague easily fades from a person's life like he never existed. Number 14. The production designer revamped nearly all the sets at the last minute. The renowned production designer, John Lavcavelli, was brought aboard Lincoln Heights at the last minute to look at the set. As revealed by the executive producer, Kathleen McGee Anderson, he was responsible for the set's new look and elevating its visual identity. The revamp of the set, which was a last-minute detail, beat the concept of the first and molded well into the picture the production team had in mind. Being that the show was being televised meant there was little time to implement all of these new changes without causing a strain to the team's schedule. Yet, considering the distinct look his ideas gave to the set, especially as they had the same emotional depth as his previous works, it made the show stand out even more. Now, the neighborhood fit precisely into the picture Sutton's family home was supposed to give, portraying it as a generally unsafe and crime-ridden community. Even the police precinct and neighborhood exterior looked so real. Number 13. Different songs were used to promote each season. Lincoln Heights was not just a movie that was depicted with real-life family complexities, it was also one that was mindful of its contents. That also includes its musical content. This was expressed in the level of mindfulness taken to pick out a song to promote every season of the movie. It decided against a particular song being associated with the movie, but rather looked for a way to capture the interest of its target audience, the teenagers and young adults. They then decided to go with more contemporary pop music. With that, they caught the attention of the youngsters. Each season, with its distinct song, was carefully chosen from the list of a rising pop star of the late 2000s. For Season 2, they went with Say OK by Vanessa Hudgens, who at the time was popular because of the Disney picture High School Musical. Season 2 ended, and 3 had to be born. It meant new publicity for the new season. This time they introduced us to Season 3 with the song Crush by David Archuleta. David was a sensation at the time, having won the runner-up in American Idol's 7th season. He burst into the music scene in 2008. His fans from the show were still eager for his next move when Lincoln Heights tapped into the gold mine. His music was all that season needed to feel like it was still in sync with pop culture trends. It helped sustain interest. Having noticed the promotional successes of this strategy evolved for the movie, the producers of Lincoln Heights were not backing down. They, in fact, became more creative. For the 4th and final season, they used Avalanche by Marie Digby. Marie was already well known for her soulful acoustic music style. They decided to use this music to leave a lingering feeling in the audience's minds. They also wanted the audience to connect more deeply to the concluding scenes while reflecting on the previous ones. Number 12. The movie won multiple awards. Success is relative to people, just as it is to movie networks. One thing that makes each success remarkable is its work to reach that pinnacle. The same can be said for Lincoln Heights. The movie had quietly built a reputation for excellence when it showed how different families had different values by which they lived. This led them to recognition by award bodies. It won the Gabriel Award for Best Entertainment Program in 2008. The Catholic Media Association presented this award. This award is generally for media works that uplift and inspire while promoting human dignity and positive values. The movie earned this recognition by accurately depicting the African American family, which was faced with controversies but chose to stay deeply rooted in love and resilience. It also sparked the interest of the Television Critics Association and earned their nomination just a few months after its debut. They praised the movie's decision to tackle issues such as race, class, gang violence, and police-community relations, which TV stations often neglected at the time. They were also nominated in 2008 and 2009 for the Vision Awards in the drama category. Although they did not win, it was evidence that the movie was recognized for reflecting America's diverse society. Number 11. Jen Sutton, played by Nikki Michaud, is only 8 years older than her screen daughter, Cassie, played by Erica Hubbard. Difference. While Nikki Michaud was the matriarch of the Sutton's family, as Jen, Cassie Sutton was the mini version of her daughter, and was played by Erica Hubbard. Most people do not know that in real life, Michaud was born in 1971, while Erica was born in 1979. This made their real age only 8 years apart. On screen, however, the case was different. Michaud not only acted older, but she looked older. Jen was the responsible, career-driven nurse, while Cassie was a high school teenager navigating love, identity, and the challenges of growing up in Lincoln Heights. Yet, one would never have suspected how close they actually were age-wise. Michaud was mature in the delivery of her role and effortlessly portrayed the role of a mother of 3 who supported her husband. On the other hand, Erica was full of life and navigating puberty's challenges. The audience would never have guessed, but this was true. The mother and daughter duo are almost age mates in real life. Number 10. It was released on DVD by Shout Factory after it had stopped airing on ABC. Even though Lincoln Heights stopped airing on ABC Family in 2009, the movie's legacy did not stop there. In fact, the gospel of Lincoln Heights spread even farther after it stopped airing. An independent entertainment company named Shout, the factory offered to release the first season of the movie on DVD. This meant that Lincoln Heights had the tendency to be watched everywhere. The release came out in Region 1 on February 16, 2010. It also spanned across the United States and Canada. Shout, the factory was known for preserving and distributing cult favorite films that might otherwise fade from circulation. Therefore, it can be concluded that that was why they stepped into the scene involving Lincoln Heights, so that with the kind of impact it had on the broadcast audience, it would not be forgotten even after airing. It was the best strategy to ensure that fans had access to their favorite episodes, or a way of introducing new viewers to the Sutton family story. It left out none of the 13 episodes of Season 1, and once again, the audience could connect to that moment when Eddie took his wife and children home to his old neighborhood. Although subsequent seasons were not released similarly, the release of Season 1 exposed more people to the social problems that needed addressing in most communities. Sometimes, the subtle topics, characterized by quiet struggle, were all indicated in the daily lives of its citizens. Number 9. The theme song was co-written and performed by bassist Stanley Clarke and songwriter and singer Blair Reinhardt. The opening theme of Lincoln Heights set the tone for the show's mix of family drama and cultural depth. Stanley Clarke, a legendary bassist and composer, co-wrote and performed it. However, on this project, he did not work alone. He created the masterpiece alongside Blair Reinhardt, a singer and songwriter well known for her television and independent music work. Stanley Clarke is a respected modern jazz musician, widely recognized for his pioneering work in jazz fusion and film scoring. He gave the theme a rich musical quality and distinguished it from other family series aired then. Blair Reinhardt, on the other hand, brought her strong lyrical and vocal prowess to the theme. Having established herself as a songwriter and performer, her collaboration with Clarke was not out of place. She was registered under the Reinhardt music family at the time. The music sounded soulful and contemporary, a product of Clarke's contribution, as it carried emotional depth due to Reinhardt's contribution. Together, they created a masterpiece in the form of a theme song. It was both catchy and meaningful, and reinforced the show's spirit of hope, strength, and togetherness. The opening sequence, which was followed right after by their song, became instantly recognizable by fans. It also helped Lincoln Heights establish its identity in the crowded Hollywood drama space. The music does not just resonate with the show's theme, it sticks with the audience's heart. Number 8. Michonne Ratliff was not just skilled in acting. In Lincoln Heights, we are introduced to Michonne Ratliff as Tay Sutton, who happens to be the youngest son of the Sutton family. Here, he depicted the role of the Sutton family's musically talented but youngest son. Despite his father's disapproval, he pursued his passion for music. However, contrary to most fans' idea of his personality, he is multi-talented in real life. According to Wikipedia, Ratliff is a singer, a dancer, and a musical instrumentalist. He can also play instruments like the keyboard, acoustic, and electric guitar. His role on the show was not just acting, it was a part of his essence in real life. Both before and after the show, he steadily built a music career. He is noted to have performed on several music platforms as Soul Train and BET's 106 & Park. These two platforms were key stages for any young R&B or hip-hop artist looking to grow. Each of these appearances successfully set him up for a life. They showed his vocal abilities and stage presence and helped him reach a larger audience than his acting career offered him. Aside from being a performer, he pursued music recording, blending R&B with pop music. His reputation as an musician allowed him to have a larger following than on Lincoln Heights. His role on the show also tried not to deviate from who he truly was. The fact that he was already skilled in the role he was to play set him apart from the other cast. People could easily see his passion for music even as he played his role. This earned him the reputation of a multifaceted entertainer. By the time Lincoln Heights stopped airing, he was already an emerging star in the music world. Number 7. Kathleen McGee Anderson was the true powerhouse of Lincoln Heights. A 2010 Crisis magazine article described Kathleen McGee Anderson as the driving force behind Lincoln Heights. Even though Seth Freeman created the series, McGee Anderson was the brains behind every aspect of the production. The article describes her role as extending beyond supervising scripts. She was also described as the showrunner, that is, someone involved with casting decisions, production design, directing the creative tone, approving, disapproving, and writing scripts. She was also responsible for steering the show's storytelling vision. She was the brain of the movie. She is also highlighted to have put herself into the movie regarding energy. She was recorded as having worked over 12 hours a day. Some of the cast, however, said she sometimes worked more. She wanted to make the story as authentic as possible, because she recognized that it wasn't every day that a Black American movie got the support it needed from the network. She showed that she was truly the boss of the show. One would see her often taking on the impossible tasks, steering cast members to do what they thought impossible. For one, she encouraged Michaud to promote the movie, and Ryan Brown to take steps out of her comfort zone, mentoring the other female cast. She is recorded to have said, "I love my job. It is the most creative job." She also recalled being told her dreams of movie production were invalid, and how it helped her channel all her energy into Lincoln Heights, as she felt it was possible to be dismissed without a chance. Number 6. Nikki Michaud earned 2 NAACP Image Award nominations for her role. Jen Sutton was not just the matriarch of the Sutton family. She is also the second actress of color who convincingly loved her on-screen man and had been an equal partner in working and raising their offspring after The Cosby Show. Even though she is often described by her roles, like her career as a nurse, her children as the mother of 3 or 4, and her husband's support system, Jen was more than that. She was a woman who knew how to keep her household together despite the challenges. She was an active community member and is also portrayed as a jealous partner who rolls her eyes and gets flustered. However, it does not remove her 100% support for Eddie. She portrayed quiet strength, vulnerability, and resilience even in the face of it all. This hard work, blended with a touch of naturalism, did not go unnoticed. Her performance on the show earned her 2 NAACP Image Award nominations for Outstanding Actress in a Drama Series. One was in 2008 and the other in 2009. The award is prestigious in the entertainment industry. Therefore, a double nomination only meant that Michaud knew her role and had played it to the T. The movie was constantly praised for its cultural significance. Still, it was also often discussed that Michaud's performance was a source of strength to her husband and family during trying times. Even though she didn't win the award in the end, her nominations proved that she had been recognized for her skills. Number 5. The series was created by Seth Freeman. The series Lincoln Heights came up with the idea of the producer and writer Seth Freeman. He had developed the script for ABC Family, which is now known as Freeform. It has been noted that he did not just create a script, he came up with an idea that was neither entirely a family drama nor a police or law enforcement drama. Instead, it was a script with a unique blend of Black American family drama and a law enforcement or police drama. Together, the mixed genres brought a fresh perspective to television drama in the mid-2000s. a blend that has not yet been seen on TV. The script begins and follows Eddie Sutton, a police officer, as he moves his family back to his old neighborhood in Lincoln Heights. It intertwines professional and family conflicts as they navigate feelings of love, trust, and generational issues. It also involves moral dilemmas and the tension involved when this is mixed with police procedures. The script also covers social issues such as crime, race, justice, and the social challenges of urban life. Each season was a build-up to the next. It followed through as though the family members were living in the real world and faced one problem after another. One is also exposed to how almost every parent and child can easily relate to the storyline. It also tackled serious issues within the accessible framework of a family series. It therefore makes it easy to say that Seth Freeman created the foundational structure upon which Kathleen McGee Anderson built to develop the epic masterpiece. Number 4. The creative team comprised people who knew their onions. Aside from the screenwriter, the crew also comprised many other talented directors who joined forces to bring the story to life. Kathleen highlights that the creative team includes other acclaimed directors as Scythe Mann, Jesse Baccio, and Michael Switzer. Scythe Mann was already well known in television for his previous works, directing some episodes of such dramas as The Wire, which is now known as one of the most influential urban dramas in television history. While in Lincoln Heights, he helped elevate the visual style and narrative tone. It led people to begin a comparison of Lincoln Heights and The Wire. One thing remained certain: Lincoln Heights was grounded in authenticity and great storytelling. Also, we had directors Jesse Baccio and Michael Switzer, who contributed to the drama's style. They ensured that every episode was not just a self-contained story, but part of a larger ongoing narrative on race, justice, and challenges of urban life while balancing intimate family drama with the social and community context. The combined efforts of all of these directors made Lincoln Heights transcend the boundaries of a typical teen or family drama and ensure its wide acceptance. Number 3. Robert Adamson was a central figure and played Charles Antony. One character constant throughout the 4 seasons of Lincoln Heights was Charles Antony, a role played by Robert Adamson. Adamson appeared in all 43 episodes of the show from its inception in January 2007 to its conclusion in November 2009. He was introduced to the show as a troubled teen with a problematic past. The series followed from his troubled phase, where he was caught up in hardship, to becoming a stable and trusted figure in the Suttons' lives. His relationship with Cassie Sutton was worthy of study. Their romance was riddled with regular romance's everyday ups and downs, and saw Cassie evolve. It also explored love, trust, and firm decision-making themes. Adamson played the role so well that audiences could feel his vulnerability and sincerity. Charles has separated from being just a love interest to being a whole character who had to navigate the struggles of growing up in a challenging environment while trying to navigate a better path and future for himself. His story would resonate well with the essence of Lincoln Heights. He embodied growth, redemption, and the power of relationships to overcome obstacles. He was one presence that helped give Lincoln Heights a sense of continuity. Number 2. Erica Hubbard studied broadcast journalism at Columbia University. Before becoming widely recognized as Cassie Sutton, Erica Hubbard had successfully navigated her way in academia. She studied broadcast journalism at Columbia College, Chicago, and completed her degree in 3 years of her program. She was then awarded a Bachelor of Arts, a remarkable achievement, especially as most college programs ran for 4 years. Her communication, storytelling, and media production background later supported her acting and voice work skills. She had already gained experience in commercials and modeling before finally delving into film. In Lincoln Heights, she was the eldest daughter of the Suttons. She was compassionate and had severe difficulty with decision-making. She also had to navigate her young love, identity, and the challenges of navigating adolescence in an unfamiliar neighborhood. She drew on all her skills, educational training, and natural screen presence to deliver her role exceptionally. Number 1. Ryan Nicole Brown starred in Lincoln Heights while having recurring roles. In other shows before landing as Lizzie Sutton, Ryan Nicole Brown already had an impressive television resume for a young actress. She had roles on popular shows such as That's So Raven and Judging Amy. Then, when Lincoln Heights premiered in 2007, she came on board as Lizzie, the Sutton family's middle child. She was a thoughtful and sensitive character who was also intelligent. She often served as a stabilizing presence among her siblings. She had to deal with several issues, from adjusting to life in a crime-prone area to navigating friendships and supporting her family through complex challenges. These struggles added depth to her character and allowed the audience to connect with her more emotionally. Her earlier background in movies made her fit seamlessly into the role, giving her the skill set to handle dramatic and subtle moments easily. She demonstrated versatility, portraying a vulnerable and strong character, hopeful yet weighed down by her circumstances. Her performance as Lizzie allowed her to showcase her range in a way that felt authentic and natural. It allowed her to move beyond the limitations of her previous child roles and prove herself as a young adult performer capable of carrying emotionally layered and complex characters. Through Lizzie, she displayed her talent and showed her growth as an actress, making the transition from child star to mature performer in a way that felt both believable and compelling. From the screenwriter to the executive producer to every other creative director and cast member, it becomes clear that Lincoln Heights was a movie set for greatness. Its unique storytelling of family drama in a realistic light in which it was portrayed made it stand out exceptionally. What do you think about this story? Please share your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed watching this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.